gentlemen, introducing your host from the birthplace of extreme, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at, well, an average weight for a person of his size, Sean Wilborn.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WrestleMania preview edition of the Bury the Booking podcast, wrestling podcast. My name is Dell. That is Devin. How are you today?
Doing good. Can't wait to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it is officially WrestleMania week as we begin the week on our Sunday. WrestleMania, of course, begins on Saturday and Sunday, night 1 and night 2, which we will definitely be previewing and giving our predictions for that show. Always a great time for prediction shows, but this one is a big one. This one is WrestleMania. But before we get into that, we also had a pay-per-view last week. We had another outing from All Elite Wrestling, AEW. They had Dynasty right here in the backyard in Philadelphia at the Liacouras Center. There were some interesting things, to say the least, that happened. There's some decisions that were made for that. So let's jump into that. All in all, before we break down the matches and the results, how did we feel about AEW's Dynasty as a whole?
To be honest, it was real predictable. Like there was matches looked good. Storyline wise, it was just more of the same. It was just a longer regular AEW show.
Yeah, and I feel like all of the things that we predicted for this show actually more than likely happened, because handwriting was on the wall for this one. But yeah, let's without any further ado, let's jump into that. And we started AEW Dynasty off with the Owen Hart Men's Tournament match. It was Kevin Knight versus Will Ospreay. How did we feel about the match?
It was cool. I didn't know who Kevin Knight was.
I mean, yeah, he's getting some airtime now. So
pulling him out the closet. Dust this one off.
Yeah, good match, good opening match. But of course, as we know, there was no way Will Ospreay was losing this matchup
to a nobody
at all. They it seems like they got some stock in Kevin Knight, but it's AEW. That stock could be for like 4 weeks, and then
you probably won't see him after a while,
and then you like never see him again. So that was that. We had, again, this AEW show we had good matches, but it was what it was. We kind of knew where these things were going. We knew where these matches were leaning. Next up, we had the Hurt Syndicate defending the AEW Tag Team Championships against Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Even with the interference, before the interference, I knew the Hurt Syndicate was going to win.
Yeah.
Like, we're not giving Big Bill and Brian Keith anything like that. They got issues with Jericho right now.
Right, and it's way too much going on right now with the Hurt Syndicate. You got the MJF stuff going on. You know, we got tons of story to tell with this one. So, and I mean, the match was okay. You know, whatever. We just knew the Hurt Syndicate was winning this. So
yeah, this was easy pick.
Easy pick. Another easy pick here was the women's Owen Hart match. That was Julia Hart and Mercedes Moné.
Even though I wish Julia would have won, because I think Julia Hart's a better wrestler than Mercedes Moné.
Okay.
But they're not giving up the belt.
No, I mean, and Mercedes, I still believe she's undefeated in AEW, so she wasn't losing in a tournament match to Julia Hart here. Match was decent enough.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was just we just knew the result here, and this was the problem here with Dynasty. Like, the matches were good, but it's like we know where all this is going. It's not, I don't know. There was no extra on these. Like, it was like, all right, look, we're gonna watch these matches. The matches are gonna be fine, but very predictable in the show. So again, it was that. Then we had the AW Trios Championship match. It was the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac versus FTR, rated FTR, which was Adam Copeland, Dax, and Cash.
Once again, I knew this was going to happen at the end.
Yeah, you called this one specifically on when we did our preview show.
He telegraphed this so hard that it was just there.
Yeah.
Like there was no going up, no going down. It was FTR's turning on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then then even before they had that, before what's the bull? Coop got shoved into Dax. I knew something didn't feel right about this match. It felt real. It felt like a three-way match between the Death Riders, rated Coop, and FTR. It felt like a three-way match.
and Copeland was on an island by himself.
Yeah. And I'm glad they turned on him. I'm glad that FDR is going heel. FTR, not FDR. That's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I'm glad FTR is going heel.
Yeah.
You know, it's about time.
Yeah, so they put him on the shelf for a little bit or whatever is going on until I'm pretty sure All In, where we have something going on. Yeah, it again, you're going to hear this a lot when we review this. It was what it was. Because surprise, surprise here, there were no real surprises on Dynasty.
None.
Then we had Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne for the AEW World Championship, Women's World Championship.
Mm.
And we had, surprise, surprise, Toni Storm retaining.
We're not losing to Toni Storm.
No.
That's just not happening.
No. As much as, they wanted to put the spotlight on Megan Bayne, which is fine, I get it. But we know of course, we're like, okay, it's Megan Bayne. They like her. Let's pay attention to her. But at the same time, Toni Storm is the breadwinner here. Toni Storm is the attraction. So we're not taking the title off of Toni Storm. Be an idiot to do so.
Correct.
So it was what it was.
It wasn't a bad match either. It wasn't
like I actually really enjoyed that match.
A horrible match. Like
I enjoyed that match.
Both women did great work.
Yeah. This was these next couple matches were like a good run of not saying that any of the matches before these were bad, but this was, like the Toni Storm Megan Bayne match was really good, and I really, really, really enjoyed the next match, which was Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. This was in the Owen Hart Men's
awesome in the ring.
Yes. Yeah, I am all good with seeing them continue this. Kyle Fletcher is awesome. Mark Briscoe goes without saying. And I really, really liked this match. Really liked it. So it seems like they're going to continue this. I'm okay with doing so.
Mm-hmm.
I need more Kyle Fletcher. I need more Mark Briscoe. Let's have this thing out. But we had Kyle Fletcher win this and advance on in the Owen Hart tournament. So it's okay.
Yeah, either one, like I said before, either one of these guys I'd have been fine with.
Yeah.
I prefer Briscoe, but I'm not upset that Kyle Fletcher got it.
Right. Yeah, no. Next we had the Ring of Honor World Championship title versus mask. here. I like Bandito. I do. I didn't really care because
the end of this was dumb.
Yeah, because the Chris Jericho,
First off, how you reversing the decision like that? Like he got the W.
Yeah, but all it takes is hey, no. This is what really happened, and then it's one of those plot devices where you can just use that at any point in time to be like, oh look, this wasn't really what it was supposed to be, so let's just restart the match. Let's reverse the referee's decision, restart the match, and have it out this way.
I was not. I gave up. Ain't that so dumb?
Yeah, but there was no way here that Bandito was losing his mask. So he just something had to happen. And Chris Jericho lost, which is fine. I feel like Chris Jericho didn't need to be on the Ring of Honor brand.
No, he had that belt for a while.
Yeah, he had it for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it just, like I said, I like Bandito, so it's fine. Next up was Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. Another good match, really good match here.
Yes, sir.
I like both guys a lot. And yeah, this was a really, really good showing, really good match. And finally, Adam Cole has some championship gold in AEW by winning the TNT Championship to defeat Daniel Garcia. We'll see what happens. We'll see how AEW fumbles this, because I'm sure they will.
Let him keep it for a while.
Yeah, I'm sure, but hopefully the title reign is interesting. The TNT title lately has just been something people walk around with. Most of the titles in AEW, besides Toni Storm, I'll say. Toni Storm is like the only, act. It's like, okay, she's the Ring of Honor the AEW Women's World Champion, and it seems like that title is treated semi-good.
Well, I think she does most of the...
She's elevating that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other, it's like other champions in AEW just kind of hanging out. They got titles and whatever. Because there's like 4,000 belts there in AEW. But match was good.
How much do AEW sell their belts for?
Probably a lot. Looking for the replica titles?
Yeah. Oh, no. $800 for an AEW World Championship belt? Nah. Who is dropping $800?
Several people.
Oh, it ain't worth it. Like, I guess if you're a big fan.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you're
you get your belt.
Yeah, if you're a diehard AEW,
But who's a diehard AEW fan?
Diehard AEW fans aren't diehard AEW fans right now.
Yo, they got a tag team belt for their belt's more expensive than
WWE's.
WWE's.
Yeah.
And they merch look, to be honest with you, they merch look like iron on. Like, this stuff don't look quality.
Yeah, no. But what was quality, I will give them this, which was a match we knew was going to be quality to begin with. It was the International Championship Triple Threat match. It was Ricochet, it was Speedball Mike Bailey, and it was Kenny Omega. We knew what this one was going to be from the gate. This match was going to be, like, if you watched any match out of this pay-per-view, Watch this one. Watch this one.
Yeah, this was a very good match. Well, I didn't expect it to be bad. No. Not knowing too much about Speedball, from what I have seen of him, he's great in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And you going against Kenny Omega, so this had to be an unbelievable match.
Yeah, sprinkle in, everybody's favorite D-bag, Ricochet.
And I forgot all about him. I did, because it wasn't about him.
It wasn't, actually.
It wasn't about him in this one.
No. But
he was just there taking up space.
And what it was about Kenny Omega retaining the championship like we knew he would.
Mm-hmm.
Still planting the seeds between a match between him and Okada, which we got.
Yes.
So let's just head straight to that. Okada, I feel like, can be doing a little bit more right now to build on the rivalry. Like, just have Okada do more on TV. I mean, they're just leaning on the fact that Kenny Omega, Okada, the matches they had before, the rivalry they had. But can we put a little bit more of that in AEW to get us? Can we do something?
No, we just gonna have Okada staring at Kenny. That's it. That's all we're gonna have.
Yeah, sounds about.
And to be honest, I'm not mad about that. Just some deep stare-offs.
Yeah, which is fine.
Like every time you see Kenny Omega, Okada he just walks out and just looks at him.
Yeah.
And just leaves. Like he'll be like Kenny Omega be backstage getting interviewed. And why is Okada standing there? We don't know.
Just because he don't like him.
Don't have him say nothing. Just don't even have him smile.
Yeah. If you've seen the matches before,
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like you fill in the blanks.
Yeah. And for me, that'd be real entertaining. Because you know what you're gonna get.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you still see the tension brewing. You see Kenny getting a little pissed at him.
Mm-hmm.
Okada just staying real cool, calm, and collective. Like, you know what's gonna happen in that ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been through this before. We've done this before. But definitely a match that you can just always lean on if you're AEW. It's why wouldn't you? And then we went from why wouldn't you to why would you for our main event.
This was stupid.
The AEW World Championship match. It was Jon Moxley defending against Swerve Strickland.
First off, why Hangman Page coming down? Then the Young Bucks is back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the whole lights out thing.
I was like, I don't care.
First of all, I know we talked about it before. Like I called it. I was like, Jon Moxley is winning. It just feels like I didn't know clearly about this Young Buck thing or whatever is going on with this, but I was like, yeah, it just something just don't seem right. It just feels like Jon Moxley's still gonna be the AEW World Champion at the end of Dynasty, and that happened.
I am sick of this.
Yes,
if we don't come to a head with this story, like
I don't. It doesn't seem like. It doesn't seem like we're going to, because there's another layer to it now with the whole Death Riders and Young Bucks
trying to be buddy. Young Bucks trying to be buddy with the Death Riders.
Yeah, so whatever is going on
Still
here.
Friends with Hangman. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, this is so. Swerve takes a loss here. We knew it. Cool looking Static Shock gear though. I have to shout that out.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. But it happened. Young Bucks are back. They aided Jon Moxley in defeating Swerve Strickland and retaining the briefcase which is supposed to hold the AEW World Championship, which has not been seen on TV for quite a long time because
it don't exist.
It's not a thing. The AEW World Championship is not a thing. And yeah, there was a lot of people unhappy about this. A lot of people sat for 5 hours. Thankfully, I didn't attend the show live. It was just I just didn't, and apparently the mood changed in the center there.
See, you in Philly. You shouldn't do stuff like this. Because Philadelphians is crazy. We'll throw chairs at you.
Yeah.
Easy. It takes a brief second for Philadelphia to go from chill to riot mode.
Yeah.
I bet we riot when good things happen. We riot when bad things happen. Let's not play with us.
Yeah, that was not a good.
That
was not a good ending. Yeah, that was not a good ending for a show where people had a lot of numb butt cheeks from sitting for like 5 hours plus.
Trust me, if AEW had a bigger market in Philly, there'd have been a problem. They're lucky they didn't have that many people there.
Yeah, if that was like a packed like Wells Fargo or something.
There'd been some bodies thrown.
Yeah.
There ain't enough security.
Yeah, that was
angry for him.
Yeah, that was a decision that was made by AEW, but like you said, we got something that's supposed to be going on between a truce or coming together or having the Young Bucks and the Death Riders be a thing, and I'm sure we're setting up from Blood and Guts. It's going to be like the Death Riders and maybe the Young Bucks versus Swerve, Hangman, whoever is going on. But we got a little bit of that this past week on Dynamite, which I guess gives us a little segue here to, before we jump into the WrestleMania stuff, we can do our very famous, beloved segment that we give to you weekly. We can capsulize AEW in a nutshell.
Yes, sir. We're going to start this off with AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite kicked off with a video package of Jon Moxley backstage talking literally about nothing. Nobody care. Then Jon Moxley comes. Then it's Jon Moxley versus Shibata. Then out comes Matthew and Nicholas. They in the ring. This is dumb.
They want this whole thing. Like, they apparently Jon Moxley and the Death Riders and the Young Bucks have the same visions for AEW, and they need to do business together, is apparently what the Young Bucks were getting at.
Then Kenny Omega comes out. He's talking some trash. Then Okada comes out, standing next to MVP, and all of a sudden, here comes Swerve. Then it's Swerve versus Pac. Swerve won.
Yeah.
But the transition sucked. It was too much of a transition going on. There was too many bodies out there. You're like, wait, you don't belong in this storyline.
There's a long opening segment.
Crazy. Dumb. Then you had an 8-man tag team, which is Ospreay, Kevin Knight, Briscoe, Speedball against Ricochet, Beast Morta, and the Crew. Of course, Will Ospreay, Speedball, and Mark Briscoe won against Leo Rush and Action Andrade. I don't care about them.
It said Leo Rush's name with such hatred.
I'm sorry. You got the Hurt Syndicate. They sitting out on stage toasting to a successful championship event. Then MJF comes out.
Mm-hmm.
They voted. MJF is a no-go.
Nah.
But we learned further in the show, the little interaction between MJF, and this basically would just, I think this is setting up for MJF to do a character switch. To be more like the Hurt Syndicate. To get on board with, Bobby Lashley and all them, because Bobby hates him.
Yeah, Bobby is like, just absolutely not.
Owen Hart Foundation Tournament, Thunder Rosa, Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander wins, easy W for her. We had TV time with the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho, Big Bill finally stood up for himself.
Mm-hmm.
We see it right on the wall. It's falling apart. Chris lost the belt. Jericho lost the belt. Big Bill tired of all the BS. The other guy, who I have no clue who he is.
Oh, Brian Keith?
Brian Keith. I'm sorry, Brian. Good. Let's tear down the Learning Tree. We're done with this.
Yeah, there's a Fozzy tour coming up, so Jericho's gone for a while.
Perfect. Death Riders was just Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta going against the Ops. The Ops get the W, but all of a sudden the Death Riders get involved. Now we're going to get a trios match between the Ops and the Death Riders for the trios championship.
Yeah, the Ops showed up during the main event of Dynasty also, so it's just a whole...
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of stuff.
Give it to the Ops. Give Samoa Joe and Hook and the other guy the belt.
The other guy?
The other guy.
Shibata?
That's who he is, Shibata. I didn't even, just trust me, I didn't even bother looking it up. I knew who he was. I swear, I knew who he was. I've seen him so many times before, but I could not pull his name. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just write in the other guy. That's all I can remember. Moving on along to AEW Collision, we hear from FTR about attacking Adam Copeland, and we all knew. I knew it. Adam's selfish. He's manipulative. He ain't about nothing. He's a horrible human being. That's why he broke his leg. I'm all for FTR. I've always been for FTR. Since I've watched AEW, I like FTR.
FTR is, yes.
Yes.
And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, karma's catching up to Adam Copeland for his career.
Good.
Bad decisions he's made.
Well, speaking of bad decisions, what the hell was Tony Schiavone doing getting in the ring?
Oh.
Dumb. Then, what's his name? Nigel
McGuinness?
Yeah, he think he tough. Slow down, buddy.
I mean, Nigel was tough in his day.
Key word.
In his
Slow
day.
your roll. Sit back at your table. Then Garcia comes in, gets knocked down. Now his chest all pumped. Chill. That ain't even that deep.
It's not.
All right. It's not that deep.
It's a segment on Collision. It's definitely not that deep.
No. Yeah, you're on Collision is not that deep.
It's not that deep at all.
Oh, then we had the best part of Collision. We heard from the AEW's World Championship Timeless Tony Storm. This is it. She's the best on the mic.
Yeah, she's the best thing going. She is AEW's golden ticket.
She was talking trash about all her competitors. And then Tony Schiavone's picture came up. And I'm like, wait, was she going to say something? I was hoping she was going to say something. But that was great. Tony Storm's the best. She's the best thing in AEW, hands down. Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament quarterfinals match, Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks. Yeah. It don't matter. Jamie Hayter wins. The Death Riders accepted the trios match with the Ops. We got it.
Of course.
Then Gates of Agony came out. They weren't on the card at all. But they came out. They was fighting some random dudes. They win. Local talent. I guess local talent was late. And they just needed somebody. Anthony Bowens against Blake Christian. Anthony wins. Megan Bain in action versus LMK and Katie Madden. First off, two local talents. LMK looked like she was touched. Oh my God, she looked extra special. That wasn't even worth watching. So you can skip that, people. AR Fox versus the Jet, Kevin Knight. Like you said, Kevin Knight's getting time.
Yeah, he's getting play. Yeah,
he did beat AR Fox, which I thought AR Fox was gonna do something.
No, AR Fox did what AR Fox does.
That's what he's for.
Yeah,
just to take that body.
That's it.
You had FTR ever against Matt Martyred and Angelo Parker.
Matt Bernard and Angelo Parker.
What I say his name was? His name is Matt Menard.
Matt Bernard. Yeah.
Okay, I don't care. I ain't know these people. But Garcia jumps in after the match.
Yeah, those are his boys.
Huh?
Those are his boys.
Oh, shoot, Jesus, because they don't stand out. They don't stand out. Because FTR attacks Garcia and Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong comes out to clear out the ring. So I think this might be a good rivalry. These two groups going at each other.
Yeah.
I think this will be fun. Because I know Roderick Strong, I know Adam Cole, I know Kyle, I know these guys can do entertaining things.
Right, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how this grows.
Yeah.
Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament quarterfinals match. Harley Cameron against Athena, the Ring of Honor World Champion. We knew Athena wasn't going to win because it's going to be Athena against Monet.
Yeah, they are putting this one already at the forefront. So
yeah,
let's just cut all the BS.
Yeah,
and then just get to that. That's where your finals is going to be.
Because then we hear from Mercedes Moné. I kind of tune her out when she talks at this point. So to tell you what she said, I don't know. Because I don't care at this point. I'm sick of seeing you. I'm sick of hearing your voice. You, like Timeless Tony Storm said, you were the CEO. What did she attack her? Oh, she had something witty. I forgot. Talking about attacking finances and 401ks and bankrupting her or something. That was great. Men's Own Heart Foundation Tournament quarterfinals, Brody King versus Takeshita. As much as I like Brody King, we knew he wasn't getting this.
Yeah, no, I like, and we really like Brody King on this podcast.
Yeah, and we knew he wasn't getting this. Yeah. I'm sorry, but Takeshita is kind of a bigger name right now than you are.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
And that's all I got for AEW.
That's it. That's AEW in a nutshell.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let me scroll up to WWE.
Yeah, so WWE, this is it. So we are going to jump just straight into our predictions we're going to go through WrestleMania card. We're going to go through WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday. We're going to go Saturday first, then Sunday by what the cards, they laid out the cards for what days these matches were going to be taking place. We're going to do Saturday, then Sunday in no particular order of the lineup, of course. And we're just going to, throw out the matches, our predictions, our thoughts. And, should be a gas, as the kids say.
We'll see what's happening.
So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So this is WrestleMania Saturday. So Saturday, we're going to have El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio.
The sad thing is, they're gonna run. Ray doesn't need this W.
He doesn't.
But you can't. Well, you're gonna have Ray beating him and unmasking him.
Yeah, unless he gets unmasked during the match and then beat. I don't know, but
I do. I don't think that Chad Gable's coming away with this, because this isn't a long-term gag. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
This isn't a long-term gag. This is fun, entertaining for right now. But at the end of the day, you gotta unmask him. You gotta keep this moving.
Yeah, it's Chad Gable.
This is just for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, something fun.
Yeah.
Just they have the WWE World Tag titles on the line. We have the War Raiders versus the New Day.
The New Day's winning.
They should. I really need this.
Because the War Raiders are not doing anything. I miss Ivar, regular old Ivar.
and don't get me wrong, I like the War Raiders. I really do. But the tag team title run right now is just...
Yeah, you got to give it to the New Day.
Yeah, I feel like New Day, they got
a lot of fire on them. There's a lot of heat.
Yep. We need
that. The title?
Yes, we need
would
that.
Be unbelievable.
Yes, we need that. We need them to do that. We need them to win the titles and, throw it in Big E's face.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just get more of that hate going. We also have Naomi versus Jade Cargill for WrestleMania Saturday.
God, I want Naomi to win.
I'm enjoying Naomi as a heel. I am really, really enjoying Naomi. But you gotta give it to Jade Cargill. I feel like she needs that WrestleMania win to move her forward to wherever we're going. I feel like.
Is this a no DQ match?
I don't know.
This would be great, no DQ.
It would be. I'm not sure, actually, to be 100% sure. I know we got one on Sunday, which we'll talk about, but yeah, I feel like Jade's gonna win this. I mean, it would be, again, it would be fine.
It's not about what I want, because I want a lot of things.
Yeah.
And
so what I want in this next one is what I feel is going to happen. I'm talking about the WWE United States Championship match between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu here. Yeah. Jacob Fatu is going to be your new United States champion.
Yeah, it's going right to Fatu.
Yeah.
There's no... It's LA Knight. Who cares? Nobody care about Max Dupree.
Like, you got this rising force in Jacob Fatu.
Real lukewarm.
And LA Knight, although people enjoy LA Knight, but it's Jacob Fatu. Let's keep this thing going. Jacob Fatu is your new United States champion.
People who chew with their mouth open like LA Knight. Yep. I said it.
You said it. Speaking of saying things, there's a lot of saying things and a lot of doing things in this one. This is the WWE Women's Championship match. It's Tiffany Stratton. It's Charlotte Flair. What are we feeling here?
Tiffany Stratton. I do not like Charlotte Flair. And then I found out that Becky Lynch don't like Charlotte Flair. I definitely don't like Charlotte Flair. If Becky Lynch don't like you, there's a reason, a real reason. And I saw that podcast is jealousy. That's why Charlotte Flair is a mean person. I don't like her. I don't.
It's fair. That's fair.
No. Nepo babies.
I feel like Tiffany should win this.
She has to.
And I think I said it when Charlotte picked her. I'm like, this has to. I feel like Tiffany has to get this win.
It's the end. It's not the end of wrestling for Charlotte Flair.
No,
but it's the end of being top tier. Like, she's not top tier no more. She's got to get bumped down to mid card.
Okay.
Be with your Chelsea Greens and your Meachins and stuff. Like, no disrespect to these ladies who do great work, but don't nobody want to see Charlotte Flair.
They don't. There's a different type of booing that you get. Yeah. From Charlotte Flair, like when the whole thing happened where they got a little chippy and they shot back and forth on each other. And, Charlotte was definitely taken aback by like the actual hate. So it's like, there's hate that a heel in wrestling gets. And then
there's just that.
And then there's the boo. We really, really don't want to see you.
Yeah. We don't need her.
Yeah.
There's too many other women who can be put in her place that I think would be a better fit.
Yeah. Like, is she like ridiculously fantastic in the ring? Yes.
Yeah, but she's a great athlete.
But
her face makes me angry.
Just looking at her makes you mad.
Every time I see her, just like, why are you here? I was on social media talking about this. We need to bump. There's people who need to get bumped up. One person I believe we need to get bumped up who would be great is Zoe Stark. And I'm talking about heel Zoe Stark. And that could be a great person to go against Tiffany, go for belts and stuff like that. Charlotte, she doesn't come off as a heel or a babyface. She just comes off as arrogant and annoying.
Fair.
And I don't even want to see her lose a match. I don't want to see her wrestle. That's how bad it is. It's like LA Knight. I like seeing LA Knight lose.
Right.
But I don't not want to see him wrestle. I just like seeing, like, when he's good, he's got his ass beat. Charlotte, I don't want to see in the ring.
You just don't want to see her at all.
No.
That's fair. Okay.
This whole reintroduction irks me. And I might be wrong, but it irks me.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Tiffany Stratton should win this match.
I'm saying some hot takes today. Got me fired up.
Hey, look, this is what the WrestleMania. This is WrestleMania week. This is what it does. This is what we live for. So next up we have the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso versus Gunther.
They're giving it to Jey.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah.
And the thing is this, he bet not drop the ball with this championship when he wins.
I don't think it's gonna be a long, lengthy.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I see Jey winning, I don't see it long term.
Cause the yeets ain't loud like they used to be.
Right.
They not. The crowd's not popping like it once was.
Yeah. And then the whole segment this week was like, all right, so last week your brother just got, almost unalived.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, you just came down and.
He thought he was in a Fast and the Furious movie talking about family.
Yeah.
Mother, if you don't do something.
And the whole I'm not scared of you anymore thing. I'm like, I feel like we could have led with that. So the physicality of the last time that, Jey just like rushed at him and we did that. I feel like that should have happened after Jimmy got destroyed. Like,
Jey sound like he's scared.
Like, don't have Jimmy get destroyed and then you come out and talk to Gunther. Like, I didn't, like, that was, I don't know. You should
just came out with a straight chair.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there should be no talk. We're not talking about, there's nothing for us to talk about.
No.
But, then we have our main event for Saturday. The triple threat match. This is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman's, what will Paul Heyman do is lying in the balance here in this one.
He's going with Punk. Because this is the end of Roman Reigns.
Okay.
At the end of Roman Reigns, but the whole, like, this is gonna. Now here's the crazy thing: the Shield might be getting back together. Think of that. Heyman went to Punk. Seth and Roman don't like Punk. Something crazy gonna come out.
That would be interesting.
Shield get back together.
That would be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if there's any double team things between Roman and Seth against Punk in this match.
Yeah, because Punk's not coming out this with a W. No.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one to pick. Then, of course, we have the whole thing with the last segment on Raw with Seth Rollins and almost curb stomping Paul. And now he's like, oh, you owe me a favor now and that stuff like that. But it's a couple ways that this one, I feel like this one could go that could lead to something interesting. I just don't know.
Yeah, I can't predict anything. There's too many variables that can fall into play to give me an idea on which way this is going to go. This is what wrestling should be when I go into a main event.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. This is the exciting part of it. I am going to, because for no reason at all, I'm just going to, I don't see Roman winning. I don't.
I see Seth pinning Punk.
I was about to say, yeah, I kind of see Seth Rollins winning some way here because there's a lot of other stuff going on. So I feel like Seth Rollins could win this match.
Yeah.
And then, whatever happens on Raw after Mania is gonna, who knows? But I don't know. Let's go with Seth Rollins with this one for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's WrestleMania Saturday. WrestleMania Sunday, again, in no particular order. We have the Intercontinental Championship match. It is going to be a fatal four-way. It is Braun Breaker defending the title against Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta.
Wait. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Oh, Penta's winning.
I'm for that. I'm like, no.
First off, Finn Balor is useless. And Dominic Mysterio is going to cost Finn Balor the championship.
I feel like that can be a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Braun Breaker, he doesn't care. So he's not a factor in this.
It's either Finn or Dom's going to eat this pin.
Yeah. But it's got to be Penta. Penta has to. As hot as Penta. I'm on board with Penta.
Yeah.
So that's telling you he hot.
Yeah, I'm with Penta winning the Intercontinental.
And I have no clue what he says 99% of the time. My Spanish is horrible.
Yeah, I'm okay with Penta winning this.
Yes. Need Penta to win.
Yeah. So let's do Penta for new Intercontinental Champion on WrestleMania Sunday. WrestleMania Sunday also is going to have a match that I just feel it in my bones. So I get a little nauseated when I think about what I feel like is going to happen. I'm talking about Logan Paul versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, why did I feel like they're going to give it to Logan Paul?
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I'll be done.
Yeah, I feel like Logan Paul's winning this.
No.
Do I want Logan Paul to win this? No, I absolutely do not. But I feel like Logan Paul's going to win this match. I just
can't get behind this.
Me neither. I just feel like
you cannot do this to AJ Styles.
I feel like that's going to happen.
Made my stomach hurt.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to happen. WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. We got Liv and Raquel defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria from the Gauntlet match on SmackDown, where Bayley and Lyra won the right to become the number one contenders for the tag team titles. That's WrestleMania Sunday, but I'm picking a Judgment Day with Raquel and Liv to retain.
Nah.
Really? You giving Lyra a double championship already?
I'm giving her a double championship. I don't even like her.
Surprised.
I'm giving her double. I'm giving her double champion. Why? Because I can see this being the start. Not this. The Finn and Dominic match is going to be the start of the downfall and separation of Judgment Day.
Okay.
With Liv and Raquel losing the title, that's going to put the nail in the coffin and have these people break up. Because first,
Judgment Day has the worst night ever on WrestleMania Sunday, and it's done.
Because first off, Raquel Rodriguez should not be in the Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Raquel Rodriguez needs to be a solo act.
I like Raquel. She's doing more now than she has been doing as a solo, but I feel like this now with the split, eventually when Liv and Raquel do break up, this helps Raquel. Yes.
So that's why I'm giving Bayley and Lyra Valkyria this win. Now, will they keep this win long? No, because it's Bayley. She's not going to be able to keep a belt that long. At all. So that's I'm giving it to them.
Okay. All right. We have the Sin City Street Fight. I'm looking very much forward to this.
We know Priest is winning.
Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, but yeah, I feel like Damian Priest is gonna win this. But I can't wait to see this match. This is I really enjoy these two. I enjoy this rivalry, and how it's been playing out on SmackDown.
They're good together.
Yes,
like Yeah.
Yeah, I really am looking forward to seeing this street fight. But yeah, Damian Priest is my pick for this.
Yes.
That gives us the Women's World Championship match. This is Io Sky champion defending against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match. I'm going to give it to Bianca.
I'm saying Io retains. If Io pins Rhea, Bianca technically didn't lose.
True.
So only thing Bianca has to do is not get pinned.
This is true.
And for some reason, remember when Io had a championship before, she was horrible with it. Io's been doing some things.
Listen, Io's like, look, you're definitely going to be paying attention to me this time. Like,
yes.
This is a different Io going into this match as it was, her defending against Bayley last year.
And you want to know why? No Dakota Kai. Have you seen Dakota Kai?
And we made it to Dakota Kai.
You have not seen her. And it's been a whole new Io.
We made it to Dakota Kai.
Look at Dakota Kai holding people back. That's why Michin hasn't won. Her and Dakota is friends. And Michin out there struggling to get a W.
Let's just go bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
We made it all the way to Dakota Kai hate. I didn't think we would get here. We had the Dynasty review, a WrestleMania preview. They had nothing to do with Dakota Kai. And here we are.
It honestly, it does.
She's like Kevin Bacon. It's like the 4,000 degrees of Dakota Kai.
We can always blame something on Dakota Kai.
She has her hand in everything.
Everything. Ruining stuff.
So, speaking of ruining things, John Cena's trying to ruin wrestling for everyone. And this brings us to our main event for WrestleMania Sunday. It is the WWE title. It is Cody Rhodes defending against John Cena. What are we doing here?
I want John Cena to win.
I'm very interested to see what it looks like if John Cena does win this.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm very interested to see what this is.
Because I saw a Triple H interview about this whole thing, and I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense. It does. It works great. Let John Cena win. Have Cody Rhodes go back to his trailer and cry with his dog. Like, I don't care about Cody Rhodes anymore. The thrill is over. The song is completely burned into my head. I'm tired of it. You're not that important anymore.
Okay.
Like,
so
I wish he would have never even won the title.
So John Cena wins.
Yes.
For you.
I'm praying. I think it would be a better story.
I feel like so. I want to see what this is. One, you got the whole history thing, the WWE's, John Cena goes down as he breaks the record. He does all this stuff like that. Great. But evil Cena doing the thing he said he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this play out.
Yes.
I do. I want to see
how this works.
Yeah, I want to see this decision made. So I'm going John Cena because I hope this happens.
Wins.
Then what?
Yeah, what happens to Cena?
Yeah, then what?
Is he just going to go around just soaking?
Yeah, trying to find other matches to have while he, rides out the rest of his time, like in the farewell tour.
No, let him win. And then keep the belt.
I say let John Cena win, and let's see what happens here.
I've been watching Total Divas. I see how you act on Total Divas.
Yeah, I'm down for John Cena to win this. So I do want to see what life is like if Cena wins.
Yeah,
the
I think it's gonna be great.
Championship at WrestleMania. So I want to see it. We're going to see it, and we're going to talk about WrestleMania Night 1 on our next episode because that will be Saturday, and we'll talk a little bit about Night 1. Maybe our predictions may change, maybe they won't for WrestleMania Sunday. We'll get into a little bit of that on the next episode. of the Barry the Booking Podcast. But happy WrestleMania week, everybody. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, join us on the socials. We're out here, we're doing things, and we will see you guys on the flip.